We welcome you to the Paycom Center here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I am Vinny from vdubproductions, and welcome back to my NBA2K26 presentation of my 2025-2026 season playthrough. We are in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals featuring the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder one win away from heading to the NBA Finals in this universe, unlike in real life, where the Spurs ended up winning this series here. As we look at the starting lineups here, we got Fox, Castle, Vassell, Sohan getting the start in this game, and Wembayama coming down, and Wembayama getting the at center. And then for Thunder, we got SGA, Dort, Jalen Williams, Hartenstein, and Holmgren, as the Thunder do win the tip. I said Hartenstein will get in for Keldon Johnson, and there's the first points of the game for Chet Holmgren. Holmgren really needed to start getting going here. As we see Devin Vassell, he'll shoot a shot. That's good, and that's a three-pointer. They said he was outside, and it's 3-2. Harlan, Greg Anthony, and Legler would be on the call if we had the game commentary on, but you get me instead. Jalen Williams feeds it back over to SGA. SGA coming around with the layup. That's good, and the OKC's on top once again. Minute into the game. Not even a minute into the game. It's 4-3. So San Antonio looking to try to stay alive in this game. Wembayama coming with the slam dunk. Wemby had 29 points in the Game 4 loss. See SGA. He's holding on to it as we're over a minute into the game. He's trying to drive through, but he doesn't get the shot off. He'll pass it back over to Chet Holmgren, back over to Lugan Stort. Back over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein, he had no points in game number 4, but he will get 2 points there. And the OKC Thunder on top once again. A minute and a half into the game. A good back and forth scoring already here. Fox will put the shot up, no good. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. He had 12 of those in the game 4 victory for the Thunder. Jalen Williams feeds it back over to Lugan Stort. Dort still holding on to it. 9 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to SGA. SGA at the free throw line right now. He'll get the shot up, and that's no good. Wembayama coming down with the rebound. Sohan feeds it back over to Castle. Castle coming with the layup. That's good. Stephon Castle, he only had 2 points in the game 4 loss. He already matched that total early on here. Spurs on top again. Wemby coming down with the rebound. Vassell with it, crossing the half-court line. Castle, he'll shoot the 3. That's in there. Stephon Castle, 5 points for him. And it's a 4-point lead for San Antonio right now. Over 2.5 minutes into the game. Holmgren, he's coming around with the layup. That's good. That's 4 for Chet Holmgren. Puts an end to that run there. A little bit of a 5-0 run is what I probably would say. Castle, he'll shoot the 3. That's off the back iron, no good. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. Gives it back over to SGA, over to Lugan Stort. Dort feeds it back over to SGA. SGA coming around. Feeds it over to Dort. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. 3 points already for Lugan Stort, and the lead is 11-10. Oklahoma City, they're back on top. You see over to Wembayama. Wemby coming around. He'll put the shot up. That's good. That's 4 for him already. We have ourselves really good pace to the start of the game here. 12-11. OKC on top. He's over to Williams. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. That's Jalen Williams, number 1, by the way. Castle has it right now. 5 quick points already. SGA with the steal. He's holding on to that one right now as we're over 4 minutes of the game. Holmgren feeds it back over to SGA. 13 on the shot clock. SGA trying to drive it. Can't get anything going. Will put the fadeaway up. That's good. That's 4 for SGA. And OKC back on top by 1. A lot of lead exchanges so far early on as we're approaching 4.5 minutes into the game here. 13-12. OKC on top. Vassell will shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 6 for Devin Vassell. And it's 15-13. Spurs on top. Williams, that shot is no good. Devin Vassell coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Sohan. Feeds it over to Fox. Fox. Oh, terrible. That looked like that was an alley-oop attempt, but that's a terrible, careless turnover right there by Fox. He had plenty of those in the Game 1 loss in the real-life NBA Finals as SGA coming around with a bucket. That's 6 for him, and we are tied at 15. Over 5 minutes into the game. De'Aaron Fox crossing the half-court line, and we will have a timeout called. First timeout of the game. 6:51 to play in the first. We are tied at 15. Coming out of timeout here, Keldon Johnson will check in for the first time for Jeremy Sohan. And for the Thunder, we'll have Cason Wallace coming in for Lugan Stort. As we see, Sohan's still in the game. Who did Keldon Johnson check in for then? Because I know he's into the game. Unless we're talking about Vassell then. As you see Sohan, he'll put the shot up. No, that's blocked by Hartenstein, and that will be a 24-second violation against the Spurs. So Hartenstein getting a piece of it to make sure that the violation happens here, and the Spurs will turn it over. SGA crossing the half-court line. He had 33 points in the Game 4 victory. Holmgren coming around, feeds it over to Hartenstein, back over to Holmgren. Holmgren feeds it back over to Cason Wallace, 10 on the shot clock. SGA, 9 on the shot clock. SGA, he'll put the 3 up. That is off the back iron. Sohan coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to De'Aaron Fox. 15 on the shot clock. Fox feeds it back over to Wemby, and that's going to be stolen by Hartenstein. Over halfway through the first quarter, feeds it back over to SGA. And he almost lost it for a second. SGA coming around. He'll put the fadeaway up. That is no good. Wembayama coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Stephon Castle. Feeds it back over to De'Aaron Fox. He's going to drive it. He'll put the slam dunk in. That's his first 2 points of the game. Spurs on top by 2 once again, and that is worthy enough of the AT&T Connected Cam. AT&T, a proud sponsor of NBA 2K26. Williams will inbound it over to SGA as he's getting ready to cross the half-court line. This game coming to you from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I am Vinny from VDUB Productions. We're on a call for Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. As you see, Chet Holmgren with the slam dunk, and we're tied at 17. Spurs shooting 7 of 10 to Thunder of 8 of 14. First quarter here, 5 minutes to play. Spurs need a win to keep this series alive and send us back to San Antonio. Win for OKC, and they're in the NBA Finals in this universe. As Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. You see SGA feeds it back over to Hartenstein, over to Jalen Williams. Williams feeds it over to SGA. SGA, he'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 9 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the lead is up to 3, and I believe that's their largest lead of the game to this point. Spurs had a 4-point lead early in this game. Get a defense chance. Keldon Johnson, he'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. SGA feeds it back over to Cason Wallace. Wallace feeds it over to SGA. 15 on the shot clock. SGA, he's going to try to drive it. He will put the shot up. That's no good. De'Aaron Fox coming down with the rebound. Under 4 to play here in the first. 20-17. OKC on top. Fox for 3. He got it. That's 5 for him. He had 29 points in the game 4 loss. He and Wemby were the only 2 that got into double figures, by the way, for the Spurs in game number 4. Tied at 20 here. Under 3.5 to play in the first. SGA, he'll put the shot up. That's in there. That's 11 for him already. SGA off to a very hot start right now. Here the defense chance. Fox, he'll put the shot up. That's good. That's 7 for him. Look at the Spurs, 9 of 14. The Thunder, 10 to 17. As there's a timeout called by the Thunder. We're going to take another one as well. 3 minutes to play in the first. 22-all is the score. We are looking at the lineup set here. We got Fox, Castle, we got Barnes, Johnson, and I think Cornette checking into the game for the Spurs. And we have Wiggins, I know, checking into the game. Isaiah Joe as well checks into the game. Holmgren still remains in the game. Yep, Aaron Wiggins, as I said, he just came back for Game 5 of the series. Or for Game 4, now Game 5. Chance for him to shine. They see Walls will shoot the three. That is in and out. Barnes will come down with the rebound. Tied at 22 right now. 8 rebounds to 4. The Spurs out-rebounding the Thunder right now. Feeds it back over to Harrison Barnes. Barnes feeds it back over to Castle. He'll shoot the three. That's off the back iron. Cornette will get the offensive rebound in to put in. 24-22, Spurs on top right now. So we got 2:15 to play here in the first. Holmgren. He'll come around with the layup. That's good. That's already 8 for him. 8 for Chet Holmgren, and it's 24 all right now with 2 minutes to play here in the first. Castle still holding on to it. 14 on the shot clock. Stephon Castle coming around the layup. Count it! Isaiah Joe will be charged with the foul there. 7 for Castle already here as Fox is going to go to the bench with Lindy Waters checking into the game. And for the OKC Thunder, we have Caruso checking into the game. Castle will drain the free throw there. That's 8 points for him already. As I said, the scoring needs to go up for San Antonio in this game by the players because you see Caruso, he'll shoot the three. That's no good. Cornette coming down with the rebound. 3-point lead. You see Harrison Barnes coming around the layup. That's good. First 2 points for Harry Barnes. And it's a 5-point lead for San Antonio right now. Caruso trying to drive it. As you see, he has that hurt icon there. He should be out 1 to 2 weeks. See Kaysen Wallace for 3. That is off the back iron. Waters coming down with the rebound. 11-4. The Spurs out rebounding the Thunder right now. And it's a 5-point lead for the Spurs right now, trying to keep their season alive. Keldon Johnson. He'll shoot the three. He will miss it as Holmgren coming down with the rebound. Under a minute to play here in the first. 29-24, I should say. Wiggins will have the miss there. Keldon Johnson coming down with the rebound. He's it back over to Stephon Castle. Castle coming around the layup. That is good. That's 10 for him. He leads the Spurs in scoring. It's a 14-4 run. They see Caruso. Under 30 seconds to play. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That was well needed right now for the Thunder. 15 on the shot clock, and now we have 15 to play in the first. They're holding on to it right now. 10 on the shot clock. Castle just holding on to it. Castle coming around. He'll put the shot up. That is no good. Tip Joe will come down with the rebound, and that will do it. We are at the end of the first quarter. The San Antonio Spurs with a 31-27 lead over the Thunder. Like this video, comment on this video, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back to start the second quarter right after this. So I'll start the second quarter here. Luke Cornette inbounding it over to Stephon Castle. Harrison Barnes on the court as well. As you see, Castle puts a shot up. That's good. That's 12 for Stephon Castle. And the lead is up to 6. I believe that is... No, they led by as many as 7 in that late part of the first quarter. Caruso, he'll shoot the three. That's off the back iron. So it is Cornette, Castle, Johnson, Waters, and Barnes out on the court for the Spurs to start the second quarter. For the Thunder, we have... You see Castle coming around with a bucket. That's good. The lead is up to 8. 14 for Stephon Castle. So it is Wallace, Joe, Caruso, Holmgren, and I think Wiggins. Yeah, that is Aaron Wiggins. So that is a lineup set for both teams to start the second quarter. As we're 1 minute into the second quarter here, Waters will come down after Holmgren just carelessly took care of that ball. Barnes feeds it back over to Lindy Waters. Waters feeds it back over to Castle, over to Luke Cornett. Devin Vassell looking to check back into the game. Castle for three. That's no good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. Gives it back over to Caruso. Feeds it back over to Wiggins. Wiggins. Oh, was rejected by Cornett. Barnes now has it. Barnes with the slam dunk. Okay, Harrison Barnes, 4 points for him in this game. And the lead is up to 10 for San Antonio. Spurs looking to try to send this series back to San Antonio. Chet Holmgren feeds it back over to Isaiah Joe. Joe coming around the low. He should have had that in. Waters will come down with the rebound there. Over 2 minutes into the second quarter. Barnes coming around. He'll put the layup up and count it. We have a timeout called before the free throw will take place. We're going to take one as well. 9:54 to play until halftime. 39-27, San Antonio on top. Coming out of timeout here, let's see. Devin Vassell checking into the game again. He's going to be at shooting guard. And for the Thunder, couldn't see who that was. That's Lugan Stewart checking back into the game. Very rarely do we get to see... If I'm not mistaken, I think Barnes is at 7 now. Let's see. It's 13-point lead, I can tell you that right now. 40-27. And there's Wiggins with the bucket. See, Aaron Wiggins, his first 2 points of the game. They really need that one right now. 48% shooting for the Thunder, 65% for the Spurs. So the Spurs are on fire right now. Vassell coming around, being guarded by Isaiah Joe. He'll put the shot up. That is no good. Joe coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Cason Wallace. Wallace coming around. Feeds it back, and that's going to go out of bounds. Spurs ball. Wallace, you had no way to blame but yourself for that terrible pass there. First opportunity for a team to clinch going to the NBA Finals. So you see Cason Wallace will come down with the steal. Wallace feeds it back over to Chet Holmgren. Holmgren off to a really good start right now. Feeds it back over to... There's Joe for three. He'll drain to three. That's the first 3 points for Isaiah Joe. And it's lead is only with the Spurs lead down to 8. 13 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Johnson, over to Stephon Castle. Castle coming around. 5 on the shot clock. 4 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to, I believe that was Barnes that took the shot. That's no good anyway. Wallace coming down with the rebound. Wallace holding on to it. 15 on the shot clock. Wallace trying to drive it through, but he's not getting any room. He's inside right now. Wallace, 7 on the shot clock. Wallace feeds it over to Wiggins. And that's going to be a 3-second violation against the Thunder. That will be Spurs ball. You kind of need to cut down on those turnovers to get momentum. Fox checking back into the game, and we saw Jalen Williams, number 1, checking back into the game. Got Fox. He's back over to Johnson, over to Vassell. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 9 for him. And the lead is up to 11. It was they led by as many as 13. So we got 13 on the shot clock here. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Williams. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Cornett coming down with the rebound. 43-32. San Antonio on top here. 7.5 to play until halftime. Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. For the Spurs, they need to win to stay alive. For the Thunder, they win. They're in the NBA Finals. We got Isaiah Joe. Feeds it back over to Wallace. Wallace still holding on to it right now. Wallace coming around over to Jalen Williams. Feeds it back over to Holmgren. Feeds it over to Dort. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 6 for Lugan Stewart. 43-35. Castle for 3. That's no good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. 6:50 to play until halftime. We got Isaiah Joe. Feeds it back over to Holmgren. Over to Wallace. Back to Holmgren. 14 on the shot clock. Lugan Stewart. He's coming around. Feeds it back over to Wallace. 4 on the shot clock. Wallace, he'll put the jump shot up. That is no good. Castle coming down with the rebound. 17 rebounds for the Spurs already. There's a shot. De'Aaron Fox for 3. That's 10 for him. And the lead is up to 11 again. Cason Wallace at 18 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Holmgren. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Johnson coming down with the rebound. So we're halfway through the second quarter here. 46-35. San Antonio on top. Fox driving it. Feeds it over to Cornette. Cornette, he'll miss that one. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. 20 on the shot clock. Cornette feeds it over to Wallace. Wallace back over to Joe. Feeds it back over to Holmgren. 8 on the shot clock. Holmgren feeds it over to Joe. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. But look at Hartenstein with the slam dunk. No, that's Holmgren. Never mind. Why did I say Hartenstein? No, that was Chet Holmgren with the slam dunk. That's 10 for him. Johnson feeds it back over to Vassell. Vassell feeds it over to De'Aaron Fox. 6 on the shot clock. Fox coming around. He'll put the jump shot up. That is good. 12 for De'Aaron Fox. That's an 11-point lead. 5 to play here in the second. And we'll have a timeout call by the Thunder. We're going to take one as well. 4:56 to play until halftime. 48-37, San Antonio on top. Coming out of timeout here, we got Fox, Waters, Barnes, Wembayama, and I think that's Vassell. That's the lineup set for the Spurs and for the Thunder. Jalen Williams stays in the game. SGA, I know, checks back into the game. Caruso back into the game, as well as I think Isaiah Joe moving positions. Jalen Williams, number 1, still remains. No, that's Ousmane Dieng that's into the game now. Need to get something going here. SGA feeds it back over to Dieng. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. Well needed. And the Thunder within 8. I believe that's probably the closest they have been since it was a 13-point lead for the Spurs. 10 on the shot clock here, and that's a reach-in foul called against Jalen Williams. That's number 1 for him. By the way, Jalen Williams still held off the score sheet right now, as Jalen Williams, number 2, is into the game now. De'Aaron Fox feeds it back over to Wemby. Wemby, that is no good. Jalen Williams, number 2, with the rebound. Hands it back over to Jalen Williams, number 1. Feeds it over to SGA. SGA will drive it. And no, he feeds it over to Dort. Over to Caruso for 3. He nails it. That's 6 for Alex Caruso. And the Thunder are within 5 with under 4 minutes to play until halftime. Fox feeds it back over to Wemby. Wemby with the slam dunk. That's 6 for him. 12 assists already in this game for the Spurs. And the lead is up to 7. That's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 15 on the shot clock. SGA. Still holding on to it, being guarded by Fox. SGA coming around. He'll put the layup up. That is no good. Or the shot up. That's no good. Fox coming down with it. He's it over to Devin Vassell. Back over to Fox. 3:10 to play here in the second. 7-point lead for the Spurs. Fox feeds it over to Wemby. Wemby will shoot the 3. That is in and out. Jalen Williams, number 2, coming down with the rebound. We have Caruso feeds it over to Lugan Stort. Over to SGA. SGA, he'll put the fadeaway up. That's no good. Vassell coming down with the rebound. Over to Harrison Barnes. Barnes feeds it back over to Fox. Fox, he'll have the jump shot. That's no good. Dort coming down with the rebound. Dort feeds it back over to Jalen Williams, number 1, and he'll finally get on the score sheet. Every starter has scored for the OKC Thunder. We look at the trend. 11 lead changes 8. 5 ties right now. OKC within 5. He's it over to Fox, and that's stolen by SGA. SGA over to Lugan Stort. Dort feeds it back over to Jalen Williams. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. 21-16, Spurs out rebounding the Thunder right now. And they currently lead on the most important stat sheet, the scoreboard, 50-45. And Barnes will miss that one. Jalen Williams, number one, with the rebound. Feeds it back over to SGA here. A minute and a half to play until halftime. Williams, number one. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Jalen Williams, number one, as I said, 2 points, 1 rebound on 1 of 6 shooting. He's not having a good night. They need him to go as well. Fox. That is no good. Jalen Williams, number one, coming down with the rebound. Minute to play here until halftime. 50-45. San Antonio on top. He's back over to Caruso. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That's 9 for him. And the Thunder within 2. Fox still holding on to this one right now. 15 on the shot clock. 43 to play until halftime. Fox feeds it over to Wemby. He'll shoot the three. That is off. No good. Chance to tie or take the lead for the Thunder on this trip down the floor. Caruso. It's back over to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA. Shot. That is no good. Wembanyama with the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Lindy Waters has it. Feeds it over to Barnes. Barnes feeds it back over to De'Aaron Fox. Fox still holding on to that one right now. Feeds it over to Lindy Waters, the third. Back over to Wemby. Wemby, he'll put the shot up. That's off the front rim. No good. Jalen Williams, number two, gets the rebound. Over to Caruso. He'll shoot from nearly half court. No good. And that will do it for the first half. It was a 13-point lead for the Spurs, but a 21-10 run by the OKC Thunder to end this half. It's only a 2-point lead for the Spurs as we head to halftime. If you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment on this video. And if you are able to support me financially, there is a link to my Cash App in the description down below, as well as where you can follow me on X and Instagram. And with that, I'm going to send you guys to halftime. We'll see you guys in the second half. Getting ready to start the third quarter here in Oklahoma City. It is 50-48, the Spurs on top. It was a 13-point lead for the Spurs, and they were led by Stephon Castle, 14 points. It was 40-27 at one point for the Spurs, but as I said, a 21-10 run in the last few minutes of that half. And it's only a 2-point game as we start the second half. As you see Castle inbound and get the Fox. The starting five for both teams are out on the court right now. Wembanyama will shoot the three, and they need that one. That's 9 for Wemby. As you can see, Fox, Castle, Wemby, Vassell, Sohan. And for the Thunder, SGA, Dort, Jalen Williams, number one, Holmgren, and Hartenstein. SGA, he'll put the shot up. That's good. That's 13 for him. Jalen Williams, number one, needs to figure out how to hit his shots, though. He struggled from the field. He only had 2 points. Sohan for three, no good. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. Give it over to Jalen Williams. Feeds it back over to Dort. Luguentz Dort feeds it back over to SGA. Back over to Dort. 1 minute into the third quarter here, 53-50. Dort feeds it over to Holmgren. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That's 13 for him, and we are tied at 53. Fox had himself a solid first half. Feeds it over to Castle for three. That's no good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Williams. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. Jalen Williams needed that. He needs to get going in the second half. Thunder on top by three. That's actually their largest lead of the game. Or ties their largest lead of the game. Sohan needs it back over to Wemby. Wemby coming around over to Castle. Castle with the slam dunk. That's 16 for him. Spurs within one. See, OKC feeds it back over to Dort as SGA had it for a second. 2 minutes into the third quarter, Dort feeds it over to SGA. 10 on the shot clock. SGA coming around. Still trying to get the shot up. He'll feed it over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein coming around. The layup, no good. Wembayama coming down with the rebound. Fox has it. Hartenstein only 2 points on one steal on 1 of 2 shooting. Fox trying to drive it. He'll feed it over to Castle. He'll shoot the three. That's off the back iron. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. SGA has it. He's crossed to the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Jalen Williams, number 1. He'll miss that one. Wemby had to rebound. Vassell has it. Let's say Williams, 2 of 8 shooting, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. Sohan, he'll shoot the three. That's no good. Logan Dort coming down with the rebound. Dort will cross the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Jalen Williams. Williams feeds it back over to SGA. SGA puts it back over to Dort. Dort will shoot the three. That's no good. Wembayama coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to De'Aaron Fox. Feeds it over to Devin Vassell. Feeds it over to Fox. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. Spurs on top again. 15 for De'Aaron Fox. Williams will shoot the three. He'll drain the three again. And it's OKC back on top. Back and forth action here in this early part of the third quarter. Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Simple. The Spurs need to win to stay alive. Thunder win. They go to the NBA Finals in my season playthrough. As you see, Fox. That's 17 for him, and it's 60-59. 15 lead changes, 6 ties. That tells you just how back and forth the game was. Largest lead for OKC was 3. They see Hartenstein with the slam dunk. That's 4 for him. And OKC retakes the lead. Make that 16 lead changes, 6 ties. I said the largest lead for OKC was 3 points. For the Thunder, or for the Spurs, it was 13. Fox coming around. Oh, and I think that was Hartenstein may have had the hand on that one, as Wemby will be called for offensive foul. Look at that. SGA just a shade under 8 assists per game. That is 4th in the league. That's the first for Wemby, by the way. Hartenstein feeds it back over to Holmgren. So yeah, I think that was Hartenstein that had the block there. SGA for 3. That is no good. Wemby coming down with the rebound. Devin Vassell. Vassell feeds it over to Wembayama. Wemby. And that is a 3-second violation against San Antonio. That is back-to-back turnovers. Yeah, that was Hartenstein getting called for the foul there right before Wemby was called, or for the block, right before Wemby was called for the offensive foul. By the way, these games I do record in advance. At the time that I recorded this game, Game 1 of the NBA Finals has been completed, but this will probably be out after Game 2. As you see, Holmgren for 3, no good. Sohan called for the foul. That's his first, and that is Chet Holmgren going to go to the line shooting 3. But as I said, I believe when this game comes out, I believe it will be the eve of Game 3 of the NBA Finals. So either San Antonio will have even the Knicks, or the Knicks will be back at Madison Square Garden up 2-0. And by the way, do not hesitate to comment on my videos about the NBA Finals as well when you see them, because I like to hear people's input of what they think about the finals, whether you're a Spurs or a Knicks fan, or who do you want to see win, who do you think will win, as Holmgren will hit the second one. That's 14 for him, and it's a 2-point lead. So I encourage some NBA Finals talk on my comment section, as well as on about this game itself. Holmgren will hit 2 out of 3. 15 for him, and the Thunder on top by 3, as well have a timeout call by the Spurs. We're going to take one as well. 6:40 to play in the third. 63-60 OKC on top. We're back here in Oklahoma City. 6:40 to play in the third. The Thunder leading at 63-60 here in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. The winner of this OKC wins. They head to the NBA Finals, and they will take care of the Spurs in this universe, unlike in real life. But if the Spurs win, we head to a Game 6 back in San Antonio. See Sohan with it, feeds it back over to Castle. He'll shoot the 3. That is off the back iron. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. Jalen Williams. And that's Jalen Williams, number 1. He has 8 points in this game, but he did shoot 2 big three-pointers early on in this quarter. Over to Holmgren. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 18 for him. And the lead is up to 6. Their largest lead of the game for the Thunder. De'Aaron Fox feeds it back over to Castle. He'll shoot the 2. That is no good. Wemby will come with the rebound, and that's in there. That's 11 for Victor Wembanyama. 3 players in double figures for the San Antonio Spurs. Dort with it. Feeds it back over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein feeds it over to SGA. 8 on the shot clock. Dort will shoot the 3. That's no good. Sohan coming down with the rebound. It is very interesting that Jeremy Sohan got waived by the Spurs early in the regular season, as Vassell's going to go to the line shooting 3 with Jalen Williams, number 1. He'll get number 2 on the foul department. Vassell looking to try to become the 4th player to reach double figures for the Spurs. 5:25 to play here in the third. But Sohan is in a very interesting situation. He's going to get a ring and get credit for an NBA championship no matter what happens in the series. That's 10 for Vassell, as Kaysen Wallace will check in for Luguentz Dort. Because he played enough games for the San Antonio Spurs even after getting waived, and then signs with the New York Knicks. And of course, you know, the Knicks are in the NBA Finals playing the Spurs, as Vassell hits number 2. That's 11 for him, and as I said before he shot the free throws, he is now the 4th player in double figures for the Spurs. Vassell will sink all 3 of them. We have a 1-point game again. 5 quick points by the Spurs. They're not going away just yet. Wallace, he'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. Kaysen Wallace, his first 3 points of the game, and the lead is up to 4 again. Vassell, got 5 minutes to play in the third. Feeds it back over to Fox. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Wallace coming down with the rebound. Kaysen Wallace. He'll come around the layup. That's good. 5 for Kaysen Wallace already. 5 quick points. And the lead is up to 6 again. The Thunder shooting 50%. The Spurs now down to 47% shooting. De'Aaron Fox holding on to that one right now. Feeds it over to Jeremy Sohan. Sohan. He'll put the shot up, and that's not going to fall. Hartenstein coming down on the rebound. SGA has it. Feeds it back over to Wallace now. Feeds it back over to SGA. Over to Chet Holmgren. Holmgren coming around. Still holding on to it right now. Holmgren trying to get the shot up. He'll feed it over to SGA. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Devin Vassell. Vassell feeds it back over to Sohan. Sohan back over to Devin Vassell here. 10 on the shot clock. Vassell feeds it over to Fox. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That's 20 for De'Aaron Fox. First player to reach 20 points for either team. Spurs within 3. So we're approaching 3.5 to play here in the third. Chet Holmgren still holding on to this one right now, trying to figure out a way of getting through, but he'll feed it over to Jalen Williams, number 1. He'll put the shot up. That's good. Williams with 10 points. Third player for OKC to reach double figures. And we'll have a timeout called by the Spurs. 3:10 to play in the third. It's a 5-point lead for the Thunder. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. Back here in OKC, we see Keldon Johnson will check in. That's the only lineup change for either team right now. 3:10 to play here in the third. Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals here. OKC with a chance to close out the Spurs in this universe. Fox. He's back over to Sohan. Sohan over to Fox here. 14 on the shot clock. 3 minutes to play here in the third. He'll shoot the three. That's no good. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. Over to SGA. Yeah, 15 on the shot clock. SGA, he'll shoot the three. That is no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. We got Keldon Johnson. Feeds it back over to Fox. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That's 23 for him. Spurs within 2. 2.5 to play here in the third. Hartenstein feeds it back over to Wallace. 14 on the shot clock. Jalen Williams feeds it over to SGA. SGA over to Holmgren. He'll shoot the three. That is off the bat. It looked like that was in and out, actually, as Castle coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Sohan. Oh, and Chet Holmgren with the rejection there. Out of bounds, Spurs ball. Sohan thought he was going to get the shot up, but Holmgren had that. Dikembe Mutombo, not in my house. More substitutions out on the court now. We don't see anything going, but we'll probably get everything. Johnson, I know, is getting ready to inbound it. I know Lindy Waters checks back into the game. Castle has it. Feeds it back over to Keldon Johnson. Waters will shoot the three. That's no good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. Caruso also checks into the game for the first time in the second half. Despite that injury icon there, he's actually shot the ball pretty well. He has 9 points already for the Thunder off the bench. There's a rebound all over there. As Keldon Johnson, his first points of the game. Plus 16 out on the court, and we're tied at 73. Caruso for three, no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Johnson with it. Feeds it back over to Waters. Waters feeds it over to Wemby. Wemby will shoot the three. That is in and out. Wiggins coming down with the rebound. So Wiggins also came off the bench. Checks in for the first time in the second half. SGA being guarded. But SGA is trying to drive it and face it over to Wiggins. Wiggins will shoot the three. That is off the back iron. Johnson coming down with the rebound. 1 minute to play in the third. Tied at 73. 15 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Wemby. Wemby feeds it back over to Castle. Castle, he'll shoot the three. That is no good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. SGA holding on to it right now. Looks like Luke Cornett's trying to check back into the game. He may start the fourth quarter for the Spurs. Caruso will shoot the three. That is no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. 22 to play in the third. Shot clock down to 18, actually, so they do have to get a shot off before the end of the quarter. We get a defense chance here. Castle. Got 5 on the shot clock. Castle feeds it over to Johnson. He'll shoot the three. He'll drain the three. San Antonio back on top. 76-73. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for three. No good. And that will do it. We are at the end of the third quarter here. The Spurs are on an 8-0 run. They lead the Thunder 76-73. Hit that like button, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. We have a very exciting fourth quarter coming up right after this. Guess there's no State Farm assist of the game. We're just going to get started in the fourth quarter. You see Dort, Jalen Williams, number 1, Kason Wallace. That's 7 for him on that slam dunk. So it is Wallace, Joe, Wiggins, Dort, and Jalen Williams, number 1. We have Cornette, Vassell, Barnes. I think Fox is out on the court. And I think we have number 1. Yeah, Fox out on the court. And I think that might be Johnson, I think, on the other end. Fox, he'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's 26 for him. And the lead is up to 4 for San Antonio. Here, OKC. Chance here. And there's a 3. That's no good. Johnson, that was Keldon Johnson. So that is this lineup set for both teams officially to start the fourth quarter. Fox feeds it over to Cornette. Cornette with the layup. That's good. Fox will have the assist there. 32 of 67 for the Spurs. 30 of 66 for the Thunder. Jalen Williams for 3. That's no good. Fox coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Keldon Johnson. Johnson. Being guarded by Jalen Williams, number 1. Feeds it over to Fox now. Fox. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Dort coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Wallace. Wallace feeds it back over to Lugan Stewart. Over to Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams. There's a slam dunk to Lugan Stewart off the alley-oop, and that's 8 for Dort. They really need that one as the Thunder are trailing by 4 right now. They want to close this series out as fast as they can. Cornette with the slam dunk. Cornette's thinking, we want to head back home for Game 6. See Jalen Williams, number 1, crossing the half-court line. Here the OKC chants. Feeds it over to Dort. He'll shoot the 3. That is in! That's 11 for Lugan Stewart. 4th player to reach double figures for the Thunder in this game. Thunder are within 3. De'Aaron Fox coming around. He'll put the shot up. That's going to fall in. That's 28 for him. Look at that. 17 lead changes, 7 ties. That tells you just how good of a game this has been. Wiggins will shoot the 3. That's 5 for Aaron Wiggins. 85-83, San Antonio on top. Under 9 minutes of play here in the fourth. Fox coming around. Easy slam dunk. That's 30 for De'Aaron. It's a 4-point lead for the San Antonio Spurs. 8.5, near 8.5 to play here in the fourth. Dort, he'll shoot the 3. That is in and out. Cornette coming down with the rebound over to Keldon Johnson. Got 15 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Fox. Fox feeds it over to Keldon Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Fox. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Lugan Stewart coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Jalen Williams. Here the OKC chance. Feeds it back over to Dort. He'll shoot the 3. That's in and out himself. Johnson crossing the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Barnes. Barnes for 3. That's 10 for Harrison Barnes off the bench. That's the 5th player for the Spurs to reach double figures, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Thunder. 7:43 to play in the fourth. 90-83, Spurs on top. Coming out of the timeout. Looking at the lineup sets here now. We got Castle, Vassell, Johnson, and couldn't really get that off, but we'll get all the players. SGA, Wallace, I know stays into the game. So let's see here. Hartenstein, I know, is into the game. Holmgren as well. Feeds it back over to SGA. SGA, they need to get something going here. Feeds it over to Wallace. Back over to Lugan Stewart. Under 7.5 to play here in the fourth. Holmgren with the shot up. That's no good. Johnson coming down with the rebound. Johnson crossing the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Stephen Castle. 14 on the shot clock. Over to Keldon Johnson now. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Vassell. He got 6 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Wembayama. 3 on the shot clock. 2. Wemby for 3. No good. Holmgren coming down with the rebound. Kason Wallace has it. Wallace feeds it back over to SGA. SGA. He'll put it up over to Dort. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Vassell. And that is a reach-in foul against SGA. Harrison Barnes, I think, is checking back into the game, I think, for Vassell, as Keldon Johnson will move positions. Alex Caruso checking back in. Wembanyama taking a rebound. There's now 10 on the shot clock. Under 6.5 to play here in the fourth. 4 on the shot clock. Wemby coming around. Wemby, oh, he just missed that one. SGA coming with the rebound. Feeds it over to Wallace. We got OKC. Feeds it back over to SGA. SGA coming around. He'll put the shot up, and that is no good. Wemby coming down with the rebound halfway through the fourth quarter. Still a 7-point lead for the Spurs. Wembanyama holding on to it right now. 10 on the shot clock. Wemby still trying to figure out a way to get through. 5 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Harrison Barnes. Back over to Johnson. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. Keldon Johnson. 8 points for him, and the lead is up to 10. 5.5 to play here in the fourth. SGA dishes it over to Caruso. Caruso, he'll shoot the 3. That will not fall in. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Johnson crossing the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Castle. Castle feeds it over to Johnson to Wemby. Wemby will shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. That's a 13-point lead for the Spurs. 14 for Victor Wembanyama, and that matches their largest lead of the game at 13. They had that early in the first half. Holmgren will shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. 21 for Chet Holmgren. That now actually, believe it or not, ends an 11-0 run. Castle coming around with the bucket. The slam dunk there, that's 18 for him. 98-86, San Antonio on top. 4.5 to play here in the fourth. Wallace feeds it back over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein feeds it over to SGA. 10 on the shot clock. SGA coming around. He'll put the layup up. That's good. That's 15 for SGA. Need to get some stops here for the Spurs, or for the Thunder, if they want to get back into this game, but they also need to start hitting their shots. Wemby coming around. He'll put the shot up. That's good. 16 for Victor Wembanyama. And the lead is up to 12, and they reach the century mark. SGA floats it over to Hartenstein. Feeds it back over to Holmgren, over to SGA. 10 on the shot clock here. 3:35 to play here in the fourth. Holmgren will shoot the 3. That's not going to fall in. Wembanyama coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Stephen Castle. Castle still holding on to it right now. Johnson feeds it over to Barnes. He'll shoot the 3. That is in and out. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. SGA. He'll shoot the 3, and he'll miss the 3. Barnes coming down with it here. Got 3 on the shot clock. Or 3 to play, I should say. 3 minutes to play. What am I talking about? It's a 3 on the shot clock. Don't ask me why. Castle, he'll shoot the 3. That's off the back iron. Hartenstein coming down with the rebound. SGA feeds it over to Caruso. SGA with it once again. Trying to drive it down. SGA coming around the layup. That's good. That's 17 for him. Castle. And we'll have a timeout call by the Spurs. We're going to take one as well. 2:21 to play in the fourth. 190, San Antonio on top. Coming out of timeout here. Let's see. We have Fox, Castle, Vassell, Sohan, and Wemby out on the court. And for the Thunder, SGA, we got Dort, Williams. And I believe it's Holmgren and Hartenstein also out on the court. So I think the starting five for both teams are out on the court. 190. 2:19 to play here in the fourth. Sohan feeds it over to Castle. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Holmgren coming down with it. Jalen Williams, number one. Feeds it back over to Dort. Dort, that shot is no good. Castle coming down with the rebound. Final 2 minutes to play here in the fourth. Sohan feeds it over to Castle, and that is blocked by Holmgren. SGA. He's coming around with it. SGA, he'll put the layup up. That's good. 19 for him. 40 of 83 for the Spurs, 37 of 83 for the Thunder. 90 seconds to play here in the fourth. 192. He's it back over to Sohan, over to Castle. Castle will shoot the three. He'll drain it. Oh, man. 21 for Stephon Castle. He only had 2 points in that game. Barnes only had 2 points in game 4. Sohan only had 2 points, but he has still yet to score, despite getting the start. And Wemby for three. That's 19 for Victor Wembanyama. 14 to shoot, or 14-point lead for the Spurs, under a minute to play here in the fourth. And it looks like we will see a Game 6 in San Antonio. The Spurs will stay alive. Fox, he'll put the shot up. That's good. That's 32 for De'Aaron Fox. He had 29 in the Game 4 loss, but you know the biggest difference is that Castle, Barnes held to 2 points each, and Johnson held to 2 points each. Well, they had better games scoring-wise. I mean, Johnson will probably end the game with 8 points, but you got Harrison Barnes with 10 points and Stephon Castle with 21 points. So the scoring picked up for some of the players in this game, and that's a big reason why the Spurs are going to walk away with a 16-point win and send this game to a Game 6. Send this series to a Game 6. 108-92 is the final score. We're going to see who the player of the game is, and then we'll go over the official post-game player statistics right after this. And anybody really surprised De'Aaron Fox got player of the game with 32 points? I'm not. But we'll be back for the post-game player stats right after this. It is time for the post-game player stats brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off with the OKC Thunder with Chet Holmgren, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and a turnover. SGA, 19 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. Lugan Stewart, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. Jalen Williams with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Alex Caruso with 9 points, followed by Cason Wallace, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal and a turnover. Aaron Wiggins with 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and a turnover. Hartenstein, 4 points, 12 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Isaiah Joe, 3 points, 2 rebounds. Ousmane Dieng, 3 points. Jalen Williams with 4 rebounds, followed by Thomas Sorber, AJ Mitchell, Nikola Topic. Kenrich Williams did not play for the OKC Thunder. And now for the San Antonio Spurs. We got De'Aaron Fox, 32 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 turnovers. Followed by Stephon Castle, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a turnover. Victor Wembanyama with 19 points, 21 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. Then we got Devin Vassell, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Harrison Barnes with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block and a turnover. Keldon Johnson with 8.6 rebounds, 7 assists. Luke Cornett, 6.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Jeremy Sohan with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, followed by Lindy Waters III with 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Kelly Olynyk, Carter Bryant, Julian Champagny, Jordan McLaughlin did not play for the San Antonio Spurs, and that will do it for your post-game player statistics. Our next video, we are now at Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals featuring the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic. As I said, the Magic took the first 2 games in Milwaukee, but Milwaukee has won 3 straight, and now they are the team that's on the verge of going to the NBA Finals. Could they end this series, or will the Magic be able to force a Game 7? Game 6 between the Bucks and the Magic. Next video, be there or be squared. If you like what you see, hit that like button, comment on this video, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do drop. As well as if you're able to support this channel financially, there is a link to my in the description down below to my Cash App, as well as where you can follow me on X and Instagram as well. And that will do it for this video. And remind everybody of the final score of the game. The San Antonio Spurs keep their season alive. They go into OKC and defeat the Thunder 108-92. They force a Game 6 back home in San Antonio with a chance to force a Game 7. And with that, I am Vinny from VDUB Productions, and I am signing off.